weird dad-inclusive dating movie?
Ironically winking.
We could also be having lunch with a ghost, so it's like a hat on a hat.
CM and I have just both immediately put on the most serious thinking faces.
Thank you.
I don't know. I have nothing to compare it to.
Well, the compliment would have been better had it not come with a retraction.
You said thank you very quickly. You should have waited.
No, I should have.
What? Once a week, I gotta get covered head to toe in bugs?
Oh no, what have I done? Created a time.
I can't believe you just did that to us.
Oh man. You guys are ready? I'm so excited. I love Mary Derry so much.
I'm so nervous.
As you should be.
Oh, it doesn't help.
My brain is entirely empty.
I cannot. Then these are going to be amazing questions for
Sick.
you.
So, listeners, if you can't already tell, this is Merry Derry Christmas 2025. And as always, like with every major Hallmark episode we have, Josh has all of the power, leaving Eve and I just out in the dark.
I prefer a Hallmark episode that has someone from the big city learning the love.
Sam and I just watched a Nick DeRemio video on YouTube about the movie Princess Cut, which is a weird dad-inclusive dating movie.
That's a series of words.
Yes, it is.
It hurt.
But
watch.
that's my kind of Hallmark movie, one that hurts to watch.
Did you guys see Hot Santa? No, Hot Frosty, which
No.
sounds like a sex act.
But I watched
It
Mary
sounds like
Gentleman.
Wendy's hit new dessert product.
Hot Frosty.
I watched Merry Gentleman with Chad Michael Murray as a stripper.
What is this podcast
10 out
about?
of 10 would recommend.
Christmas.
Christmas! 'Tis the season for the boys to be shirtless and the girls to be layered up. That's how it works, right?
We should start calling it, or let's just do a solstice episode before times a year.
I like doing the goof episodes. Doing them by phases of the season sounds very interesting, though.
It's gonna turn into a
different
ritual.
seasons.
Oh, shit! You
We'll
did it.
accidentally summon something by the end of the year.
Yeah.
Oh, I
That'd
knew.
be great.
I did do the Frosty the Snowman parody about summoning Yog-Sothoth.
Through a hat?
If I remember the lyric, it was, as we said, hey, doth summon Yog-Sothoth, he will come to life one day.
Okay.
It's on our Patreon somewhere. But you don't need to be on Patreon for Merry Derry Christmas. That's right. I'm going to give you all the questions I've been saving all year, and you're going to give me some answers. And oh boy, have got some real good ones from listeners.
If I remember correctly, you started saying we're getting some good Derry Christmas questions a few weeks after last year.
I did, yes.
Yeah,
It was early
I did
January.
not look at any of the emails, but I was very impressed that it was like after last year's episode came out, I started to see subject lines that are like, this is for next year.
Yeah, it never fails to
I love
amuse
it.
me.
Thank you, listeners.
All right, now as a recap, here are the books and stories we covered this past year. Believe it or not, we started this year with The Drawing of the Three,
Wow.
Duma Key, Pet Sematary Revisited, and The Wastelands. We also covered Full Dark No Stars, which were 1922, Big Driver, Fair Extension, and A Good Marriage, and From Everything's Eventual, Lunch at the Gotham Cafe, Little Sisters of Illyria, and The Man in the Black Suit.
You know, I like coming in blind, but I do think maybe in the future I need a list of books and a list of characters because that is all gone.
Every year I ask you guys.
I actually remember
You never asked
a lot about
if
most
we
of
wanted...
these.
Surprising.
Okay, well, I'm going to fake my way through.
Well, also, that's a surprisingly short list of novels
Yes.
that we did this year. When you stopped listing novels, I was like, that can't be right.
That's why I had to add in the short stories. I was like, wow, we really picked some big ones this year.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we also started a little behind because 11/22/63 was still airing in January.
Oh.
So we got into time debt
That makes sense.
We're going to start things off with the question we always start with. It's time to draw your 3 for your trip to the tower from the books we covered this year. We went round robin starting last year, and so that means, Eve, you get to pick first.
I have a question, and we may have covered this in the past. We have 3 Dark Tower entries on this year's list.
We do.
Have we drawn Dark Tower gunslingers?
Someone's drawn Roland.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
I hope it was me.
So, and I think somebody drew Oi.
That had to have been
Probably.
CM.
Yeah.
You had, like, the one year you had Oi, the God Monster, and the Buick 8, I think.
Yeah, I don't want to talk to anybody on this trip.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll just go ahead and steer clear of the quartet this year.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing that jumps out to me, honestly, the one with the stupidest name, I'm going to draw Dinky Earnshaw.
Well, we haven't covered Everything's Eventual, the story.
It's
Everything's
on the
Eventual.
list.
It's the name of the book.
It's on the list, Josh. Fine. Give me a second. Why don't you draw? I don't know.
All right. I'll pick first.
Okay.
I'm going to go with Sister Jenna
Oh,
from Little Sisters of Illuria.
That's
That's a
good.
good
Yeah.
one. I've got one, Eve, if you are
Go
still...
for it.
Damn it, what's his name from Duma Key?
Nailed it.
Edgar, our main
Edgar,
guy?
yeah.
Nice.
I want to paint
Edgar
her
Fremantle.
with some powers, yeah.
Good pick.
I think that would
3
be...
points from me.
I think that would come in handy. Oh, Josh, you didn't say why you picked yours.
Oh, it's the magic.
Mhm.
I mean, I feel like
Bugs. Well,
magic
she
bugs.
could heal you.
She definitely could heal me, and you know I need a healer on my quest.
and I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to go there. I'm going to be an adult.
She
I'm not going
will-
to say anything about
Her rebellious little
other
wimple.
things that those vampire witches eat.
Okay, so now that I've had a second to really go over our list,
Mhm.
our fucking list this year sucks
Yeah!
for this game
It's crazy.
specifically. Besides, if you rule out the Dark Tower, you have the sister and Edgar. And beyond that, these are some fucking evil people in this.
It's my year.
It was a real dark year.
So I'm gonna have to make some unconventional picks. So I'm gonna go ahead and say probably the man in the black suit.
Ooh,
Dang.
there you go.
He's the devil, and
Yeah.
And he doesn't give a fuck about it.
I love a redemption arc. So we're gonna take him on, and he's gonna be like, "I'm gonna kill all of you in your sleep," and we'll be like, "But we gotta save this town." And then he teaches me firebending.
Well, you know his weakness is choking on 19 inches. So just keep a big old fish on standby. All right, my second pick. I'm following suit, going back to Duma Key, Jerome Wireman.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Wireman is such a solid
Mhm.
companion, and he's got a little bit of that psychic power.
You know, I'm going to snag our other devil. Our,
No,
Ooh.
Our more,
my bit.
our more laid back guy who isn't trying to eat you, just wants you to give him money. And I feel like I could meet that demand.
I feel like you couldn't put that weight on someone else, though.
No, I wouldn't make a wish or anything. I would just pay him to leave me alone while we were on this journey together.
I like the idea of unleashing his form of mania on your enemies.
Mm.
Send him into Lud before you even get in there. The city will
Mhm.
burn itself down.
Mhm.
Okay, I got a good one
Okay.
for my second one. Church,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Mhm.
Because one of us drew Oi, and you need 2 animal companions.
Yep.
One
You
to be
do.
like really goofy, silly, and the other one to be a little more serious, but also kind of silly. And then you say yip yip, and one of them flies. Don't worry, never mind.
Was that? Oh yeah, Avatar. Yeah, I was like, I know that sounds familiar. I didn't know if you were doing another bit.
I am.
For my final pick, I am gonna go into the world of the Dark Tower, and this is gonna seem like a strange pick, but I'm bringing TikTok.
I really believed you were about to say Charlie the Choo Choo. And I was like, sir, that's a train.
Oh, no.
Sir, I'm going to need you to step back. That's a train.
Does that not count?
I mean, yeah, you can absolutely.
It's your drawing, I guess.
Yes.
Got it. All right.
Obvious. It's obvious why. Why do I even need to say more?
Did you forget there was more? Just then?
So TikTok
Yeah.
Man and Charlie the Choo Choo
Yeah.
are our next picks.
I feel like TikTok was held back by Ludd, and his ancestor was an adventurer who took to the sky.
Did I misinterpret that he's descendant of Nazis?
No, the plane crossed paths. The plane made its way into our world.
Uh-huh.
They put decals over it because it wasn't their thing. So they just put the Thunderbolt things over it because they made it their plane.
No, I'm pretty sure it was a Nazi plane that flew into Midworld.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they
Andrew Quick wasn't from our world.
right. They'd salvaged the plane, put those new stickers on it, and then
And
this
he tried to
guy
fly
attempted
it,
to fly it and
But
crashed.
they didn't have planes.
Yeah,
I
he didn't fly it into
remember
the world.
all of that.
He had to have had
I read the book.
Eve, he had to have had ancestors.
Anyway, and Charlie the Choo Choo, that's a train.
That is a train,
I
man.
enjoy traveling in luxury. I don't want to walk or camp.
I hate to break it to you. I just took an overnight train to Denver. I was on a train for 12 hours. It was not a great
I know
way to
they're
travel.
not great, but it's better than not having a mode of transportation that is faster than your own 2 feet.
That's fair.
And will protect you from the elements.
Yeah. Eve, your final drawing.
I don't fucking know. The cow from 1922.
Oh, the good cow.
You could have at least picked the rats.
I could have, but I didn't.
Yeah. Yeah, the well cow.
Yeah, I think my my reasoning needs no explanation.
You're saving her.
As she's pushed down the well, she falls into Midworld
Mhm.
and is now
Just like
voiced
Jake.
by which celebrity actor?
I was trying to think of a cartoon cow, and the only one I could think of was, I think, Roseanne Barr voiced one in a Disney movie, and I'm not giving that woman a job. So,
That's fair.
yeah.
Anyone but Roseanne is who it's voice acted by.
Yep, absolutely.
Now we have our next question going to Do McKee. What appendage would you sacrifice to be supernaturally talented at something?
My pinky toe.
But you'd only be as supernaturally talented as the sacrifice.
Oh.
So pinky toe would make you...
one pinky's toes
Good.
worth
Yeah.
of powerful.
Yeah.
I think I need all of the things I have.
If we're power scaling, Edgar lost an arm and was able to do his painting. So there's our scale.
Okay. And I mean, he was pretty powerful. He made ghosts or whatever that happened in that book.
He put a smile on someone's face.
Killed a lot of people.
That is
Yes.
true.
Yes.
I'm sticking with
What would
pinky
you
toe.
what would you be good at?
I would just be slightly better at everything that I do. I
Yeah.
think that's as much as a pinky toe would get me. It wouldn't be enough to be supernatural in any way whatsoever. It would just be a slight improvement.
If you used like gaming terms, you'd have like advantage on all your rolls,
Yes. Yeah.
which is pretty good, honestly.
I was just thinking, it's like, I got a stat point increase. Can I split that 1 point across all of them? So I'm 0.1% better at everything. Eve?
So, my immediate answer, and I think it's a pretty smart one, is I'd give up an eye. Like, A, that's like a pretty important thing. So I think you'd get something cool,
Yeah.
right? B, looks sick. Always kind of wanted to wear an eye patch. And I know this is a terrible thing to say for anyone who actually has suffered the loss of an eye.
Right.
I do not wish, but you know, it has an aesthetic
Yeah.
quality to it.
Yeah, I like that answer.
What would you be supernaturally good at with the loss of your eye? You don't have to sacrifice your eye to do that. You just need to practice winking more, Eve. I keep telling you. You just keep blinking at us.
Am I doing it now? Am I doing it now?
It's seductive.
I love
Okay,
it.
cool.
Keep doing it. Can I explore a different answer?
Absolutely.
As Eve, as you were talking, I realized Edgar was good at painting, something he had dabbled in before, something that he was good at before. So if I had to pick something that I was good at before, I would lose my voice.
Mm.
And the power I would get was to have like a siren voice style, like great singer, just command people, like supernatural levels of crazy voice.
You know what? Actually, I have another answer as well.
Okay.
And this is just something that I've thought about also in the context of like D&D characters or something. Because sometimes I'll just think of a backstory for a D&D character that'll never exist.
Same. Yeah.
So I was like coming up with a backstory for why someone would be like super powerful and whatnot. And came up with this like, what if they were, as a child, they ran across the Fae, and the Fae, have you ever heard the thing like, if a Fae asks for your name, don't
Do not
give it to them because then they own your name? It's like they were approached by the Fae and they essentially asked the same question that you asked, is like, give me something, and depending on the worth, the value of what you give me, you'll be rewarded. And the person offers their name. And so they have this, they become this wandering adventurer, but they have no name and thus no like real identity. And so they're traveling and people are like, who are you? And they're like, don't worry about it. And they become this legend because no one can know who they are. I don't know. I think that'd be
That's
cool.
pretty rad.
That
right?
is cool, yeah.
Coming
God,
to
what would
my
you-
latest comic book series.
What would you get for your name? I mean, for a Fae, that seems like a pretty good ask. Or a pretty good offer.
Probably like
Flight.
Jeez. It's so aggressive.
I feel like if I gave
Luck?
up my name, I would be.
If you're a,
Luck would be
if you're a
cool.
traveler,
Yeah.
Domino is such a cool X-Man.
That's true. Domino rules.
Gambit's my favorite.
We know.
We're aware.
Everybody Venmo us money at Gambit from the X-Men.
I wasn't streaming with you guys for that, but I heard about it
We
later.
lost our minds. I think I would I'd sacrifice one of my legs to be exceptionally gifted at writing. I've enjoyed writing. I think it's a lot of fun. I've just never dedicated the time to it. That'd be my supernatural. I'd turn into Alan Wake. Just write things into reality.
It's cool. Good answers, everybody.
Yeah, and in case that whole segment was accidentally super ableist, sorry. We won't do it
Yes.
Fair point. We have our first listener question from Michelle Devane. You can have one gunslinger attribute of Roland's. What would it be? And there are 3 options. A, his ability to have total recall and awareness of surroundings. B, his supernatural will, like when he stopped his hand from shaking. And C, a complete mastery of a skill, not necessarily shooting a gun, but something that comes so natural you don't have to think about it.
I'd have to go with Will.
The willpower is pretty rad. That's what I would pick too.
Because what couldn't you apply that to in your life? That would just be like, yep.
I don't know. I already feel like I'm pretty stubborn. So like for me, I'd have to say A, the like total awareness. I don't have that. I am shocked I have not wandered into the street yet at the age of 36. Being more aware of my surroundings, probably something I should work on. And if I could just have it from a magical gunslinger genie, I'd take it.
That would be nice. You know, I also think that C, having complete mastery of a skill, you think about like throwing frisbee. Mastery of throwing frisbee.
Wow,
Just
yeah.
clean up at froth tournaments. You can be one of those trick throw influencers on TikTok. Make more money than podcasting.
But would it be satisfying? Yeah, that would be satisfying.
Just doing trick shot after trick shot, that would be pretty fun. We're going to get a little deep on this next one. This was actually sent to us back when I asked for questions about people's thoughts during Pet Sematary Revisited. And Ashley Banks sent us something that I thought was so intriguing, I wanted to talk to you guys about it. She writes, I've always had the theory that the characters in Pet Sematary represented the stages of grief. Rachel being depression, Lewis being denial, Ellie being bargaining, Judd acceptance, and Erwin as anger. With the book being about grief, do you think this is a possible way to show the different stages from all these points of view?
I love that. Absolutely. I think that's a really cool way to break each stage down into a different character, because we talked a lot about how they all handled these situations and questioned their motivations and, just the context surrounding why they did what they did. Yeah, I love that.
It honestly fits so well, it makes me feel a little stupid.
Yeah,
That
same. Yeah.
we read this book twice, like trying to be critical, and it's so obvious that like that can't have not been a thought that went into writing that book.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I feel like Rachel fits more the denial
Mhm.
and
I can
Lewis
see
fits
that.
more of the depression.
Yeah, I actually agree with that.
I mean, Lewis does flatly deny to himself everything that he's doing during that phase, so I understand that connection. But yeah, I feel like Rachel's hard denial of death as a natural thing
Mhm.
fits there. I do like I never would have considered bargaining from Ellie.
But that's
But then you think
literally
about that's all she does.
Yeah.
God can take his own cat.
Mhm.
All of
Yep.
that stuff. It's just so it blew my mind. So shout out to you, Ashley. Next we get to one of my favorite games in Christmas. Would you rather? So
Classic Christmas tradition.
if you don't play Would You Rather with your family, try it at Christmas.
Oh, no.
Would you rather? Eve, we're gonna go to you first.
Ooh.
And we're gonna take we can't factor in anybody's drawings
Mhm.
in these, all right?
Okay.
Would you rather come face to face with the Man in Black or take a fair extension from George Elvid?
God, I forgot his fucking name.
I
Pisses me off so bad.
was really hoping that CM had remembered it and was going
I
to drop
did
it
not.
because we joked that it's not even barely hidden.
Yeah.
Meet the Man in Black or take a fair extension.
You
This
will
sucks.
pee or poop yourself with the Man in Black. The Man in the Black suit. I just want to make sure that we're all very clear. 'Cause
Of course.
he will need to
That's
get your
part of
scent.
it.
Yeah, that's part of it.
This sucks because I mentioned during the episode, the Man in Black suit is one of Stephen King's scariest fucking stories.
Mhm.
It like very sincerely freaks my shit out.
Mhm.
I love it. It's a great story, but it's so scary. And just, would it be in the same circumstances? Am I out in the woods or
You're all alone.
I'm all alone? Okay. I hate that.
But you're at a Denny's.
That makes it less scary for some reason.
But
But
it's
you're
a
all
closed
alone?
Denny's.
that
Because you're all
Denny's?
alone.
that's scary, but like
It's an empty Denny's.
yeah, but
it's
has
haunted.
a like vibe at least.
Of
It's
haunting.
It's not the woods. I don't want to die in a
It's
woods.
the woods of the civilized world.
Wow.
That's deep. No, so like obviously that's terrible, but I don't think I could handle the guilt of ruining someone's life. Yeah, I couldn't. That story, it being so much about like the selfishness of the like I deserve what I have mentality, and that's just antithetical to everything I believe in. So fucking bring on the devil. We're gonna hang out, be best buds. That's the thing. That kid was lame.
That's true.
The devil will see me and be like, hey, cool. What's up?
After he gives you the little sniff.
Yeah.
You got to poop yourself first.
No, fine.
It's hard to make a good first impression on the devil when you have poop in your pants.
If you know, like personally actually know a criminal who did horrible things, could you use that person as your person?
Oh.
No, you have to be invested in that person. It has to be...
I got that. Elon Musk.
No, you have to
It has
know,
to be someone
know
you
them.
know.
But yeah, but if you know somebody and they're...
But no, I think it's just someone you have to sincerely hate. I don't think it has to be someone you know.
He wouldn't let him do that.
No?
No.
Because he said
there
that
were rules.
that never works. He wants you
Yeah.
to see it.
We would all see it. We would all see it. Anyway, no, I'll hang out with the devil, whatever.
CM?
Yeah, I feel like as much as I would hate to hang out with that particular the devil,
Mhm.
I think I would also just feel too guilty. Even thinking of really bad people I know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be the person in charge of... I don't want that kind of power.
Causing pain is usually a bad thing.
I'd let hell rain down on my enemies.
We knew that you were going to pick that answer.
I'm taking that fair extension. If I have to poop my pants in front of the devil, or make a deal.
Are you dying then? Like, what do you get in exchange? Or what are you short of?
Well, I feel like I can't answer that question on record.
Well, that means we all know what it is.
Well, it has because I'd have to like.
You're short on confidence.
You know that's not true. We've all met Josh.
I mean,
If only you were more confident.
It'd just be money.
Yeah.
It'd be money. I mean, if I'm gonna commit evil, it might as well be for the root of all evil. I mean,
Okay.
yeah.
Mhm.
For our next question, we are going to be having lunch at the Gotham Cafe.
Ooh.
If you
interesting.
could have lunch with anybody living or dead, who would it be and why?
Oh, not in that story.
I mean,
Are we in that situation?
your lunch ends when that stabbing happens, but you're one of the first people out the door, so it doesn't
Okay.
really like.
So we're having lunch that day.
Yeah, no, it ends your lunch, but it doesn't like. It doesn't really bother you. Were kind of done anyway,
But
and
we
looking for kind of the reason to get the check and go.
We can also be having lunch with a ghost, so it's like a hat on a hat.
Sure. Yeah.
Oh, because alive or dead. I didn't realize that meant they were ghosts.
Oh no, they were brought back to life in a separate B story, and brought to this lunch with you. You made the
by
appointment.
like a
you made the appointment
necromancer
for lunch.
or
Yeah. So Dave.
Oh, okay.
Why are
So
you
Dave from
complicating it?
Queens.
uh-huh.
He knows a guy
Uh-huh.
who gets fresh body supplies, so he can just kind of whip something up. And then you have a wizard who puts their memories in there, so it doesn't look like the person. It's just in like a newly dead body, but it's that person's soul.
Okay. So you couldn't do it to someone that was just like famously hot then, because what's the point? It's like, oh, Cleopatra, nice to meet you in the body of a dead 60-year-old guy.
That can be Cleopatra.
Wait, so Dave from Queens he's like, I got some dead bodies. I found the body of Cleopatra.
He knows a museum guy.
He's got a museum guy.
Yeah, he's got a museum guy.
Okay, well, this is...
Don't ask too many questions about Dave. He
This
listens.
entire situation is exactly what I think about every night before I go to bed. So CM, you go
Okay.
ahead and have an answer.
Can it be a character from a book?
Oh,
No.
Since we're in a book?
Living or dead.
But we're in a book.
It's
But
a
we're in
real
book,
person.
We are
Josh.
in a book, Josh.
We're in a book.
well, it's because
She has a
Dave.
good point.
Dave is in the book. He's also his B story is written into the background of Lunch at the Gotham Cafe, so you have to read in a whole nother book to get it. So if that character exists in Dave's book, yeah, because it's the
And
same.
Dave's book
same
is
world.
obviously an encyclopedia of every character that's ever existed. So yeah, you can use any character.
Dave's is hardcore pornography.
What?
Eve wrote it.
I guess
What?
Sylvester Stallone.
In a million years, give me a million guesses. There is no chance in hell I ever would have expected Sylvester Stallone to come out of your mouth.
Sorry,
Explain yourself,
okay, my
please.
brain-
Following the question, can it be a character from a book?
Well, okay, because
Was your real answer going to be
listen.
Rocky?
No.
He's from a movie.
Well, they have novelizations
That's
in
true.
movies.
We interviewed Max.
My brain train of thought hopped right on when you guys started pulling out of the station on this question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you then turned it into porn. And I thought, well, Sylvester Stallone,
Mhm.
the Italian stallion.
Yeah.
And that was just, I'm like, let's just end this, make it easy. It kind of ties in a couple
my
things.
God.
It's like a nice segue
But
to
I
wrap
want-
this up.
I want to know what your actual character you were thinking of was.
I hadn't picked one yet.
Oh,
You just
okay.
needed options. I can give you mine.
Yeah, please.
Madeline Kahn. Not just because we share last names. I genuinely, Clue is my favorite movie of all time.
Mhm.
Nice.
And I think everything that Madeline Kahn has done is exceptional. And I would just love to have a few drinks and laughs with her. She seems like she'd be a fucking riot.
Ooh, okay, you gave me an idea. John Carpenter.
Nice.
In my dream scenario, he would be delighted to hear me explain to him how great all of his stuff is in excruciating detail. He would be like, this is the best conversation I've ever had.
And why can I not think of a single I'm like trying to think of like
Cleopatra.
those are those are such good answers, and I'm like, yeah, I would definitely want to speak to like an artist or someone that
Guys, right? The
means a
Italian
lot to
stallion.
me, and I literally can't think of a single person.
Okay, if Sylvester Stallone walked into a restaurant you were in and like no one else was there, would you try to talk to him?
Oh, hands down. He's just by himself?
Yeah,
Would I?
yeah.
I don't know that I would be like, whoa, Sylvester Stallone's here, and then that's it. I think that's the extent of my reaction.
I was able to approach John Barrowman, and he's a bigger deal to me than Sylvester Stallone. So I feel like I could approach Sylvester Stallone.
Kurt Vonnegut.
Ooh,
Final answer.
Good answer.
I bet that dude would just start talking and never stop, and I would just sit there riveted.
All right, we have another listener question from Jared Hazelwood. Pitch a sequel to Pet Sematary, but it's a crossover with another franchise. For example, Resident Evil.
Oh, interesting.
I would watch that.
I absolutely would watch that.
Would it be Resident Cemetery or Pet Evil?
I don't know. My imagination is just like Umbrella Corps has heard about
The Micmac Burial
the Micmac
Ground?
Burial Ground and is like trying to get to it. And
They-
it becomes this like,
Oh.
you're just a person that lives in Ludlow who gets wrapped up in the like Resident Evil outbreak outside
It's like
of
Raccoon
the
City, but it's Ludlow.
and then you travel into as you go into the woods, you start coming into the forces of the Wendigo and stuff. Sounds good as hell.
Yeah, it does.
I just, my image was just an Umbrella Corp helicopter over the Micmac Burial Ground, just chucking bodies out,
Mhm.
and until eventually it breaks the surface. Just chucking them.
Those are kind of like I hate to say it, what we got in Bloodlines.
Mm,
No, we don't talk about bloodlines. Here's mine.
please.
Back to the Future.
Ooh.
It is time travel and zombies. It is
Okay.
the Doc Brown allegory dies while they are in the past. And so the Marty has to go drag him to the pet cemetery to get him to fix the time machine so he can go back. But when he goes back to the future, the name of the thing,
Good job.
thanks, he accidentally brings back, there's two of them now. And then now there's two scientists.
Oh.
Yeah. And he's like an evil scientist.
Very creative.
Yeah.
Van-
Also, he fucks his mom.
Oh,
That was missing from the first franchise.
Oh. Yeah. Fucking Hellboy.
Oh, badass.
Yeah.
What's the movie?
that'd be cool.
It's just Hellboy and the RIPD hunting zombies, and like eventually he fights the Wendigo with his bare fucking hand, shoots it with a big ass gun, and it rules.
That'd be great. It'd be a fun action. Kinda
Like
scary.
if it's near the end of the run, like his firebender girlfriend can get put in the cemetery and she comes back and she's like a fire zombie or
Well,
whatever.
Oh,
The
that'd be
Wendigo
cool.
kills her in the first fight. So then Hellboy takes her to the pet cemetery, even though he knows he shouldn't, and buries her. And then, because she's still super powerful, she's fine. And just has more power.
And then he gets that
Or-
cool floaty crown thing that he does.
Or they think they kill the Wendigo, and it crawls its way to the pet cemetery and buries itself.
Ooh.
Listen, as long as Abe Sapien's there, I'm sold.
I love Shape of Water.
Oh, come on. I know what you're doing, you two. I saw it. Vampires. Because what if
Hell
Ludlow
yeah.
was Salem's Lot?
I get Helsing? Is Hugh Jackman there? I mean, vampires and Helsing.
I know. I'm trying to figure out. I don't want to put it in the.
Yeah, which
well,
brand
Yeah,
of
I know.
vampires?
I know. I'm torn between
Hmm.
Anne Rice and Bram Stoker.
Mm. I haven't read any Anne Rice before.
Okay, that sells it. Anne Rice style vampires. So no, but there is a Lestat. Oh my gosh.
If you
this
had
is
to
the best.
describe what Anne Rice vampires are for the uneducated.
They're like horny, right?
They're super horny, beautiful gay men usually.
Hell yeah.
And I love them. They're fierce. They're not like Twilight vampires, even though they are very attractive. And they are complicated because they're just like people, but they live too long and they have powers, but not anything like Marvel Universe crazy.
Yeah,
And
form of
you can
mist or whatever.
probably totally change them.
Oh, there it is. There it is.
I may have to read these books.
Oh, you're gonna.
You're gonna. All right, we have another favorite of mine, Marry, Fuck, Kill. Now, Eve, we're gonna go to you first.
Okie dokie.
Marry, Fuck, Kill. Well, you're both are gonna answer the same one, but you're gonna answer.
Okay.
Oh.
Roland, Eddie, and Susanna.
Oh, hoo, hoo, hoo.
Oh.
Oh, CM and I have just both immediately put on the most like serious thinking faces. Like this is not a choice we can make hastily.
I
Right.
care so much about this answer.
This
yeah, no,
answer-
this is
Because-
important.
I want each of these characters to respect the decision I'm gonna make and not be upset with me.
I did not make it past the first step of our. I hadn't even thought yet about explaining to any of them. Like I'm sorry, I have to kill one of you. I just was like, fuck. This is an impossible choice.
Oh,
Yeah.
I put the pressure on Eve to answer first. I forgot.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Why am I so upset? Whew.
Because it's gonna take you still as long to come up with an answer. You're wrestling with it. I see it in
I'm
your
not
eyes.
happy about
I'll
this.
I'll message you guys later tonight
Yeah.
in the middle of the night when I wake up.
I'm not happy about this, but I do believe this is objectively the correct answer. I'm so sorry to Eddie Dean. I love him so much. He is such a wonderful character. I think he might have the best character arc in the whole series, but he has to die. I know.
Yep.
But the other two answers are so obvious. They are so obvious to me. You marry Susanna and you fuck the shit out of Roland. Are you kidding me?
Oh,
I mean, I also
fantastic.
had my first
Yeah.
path. I'm torn between, because I don't want to kill Susanna. If I had to kill one of them, I would rather kill Eddie. But if I had to marry one of them, I'd rather marry
Marry
Eddie.
Oh, okay.
Because I think he would make a really good husband. I think he would make a good husband to me, specifically. He's like thoughtful and sweet in the ways that remind me of Devin. And and now I can excuse it in my brain, even though this doesn't make sense. You are going to marry Susanna, so she's safe in some universe.
Good.
Okay, so yeah,
Whatever you have to do to justify
yes,
it,
thank you.
CM.
Give me my
Whatever
weak
hoops.
justifications.
So that was your answer.
Yes.
One more time.
I would fuck Roland. Thank you. I would kill Susanna and I would marry Eddie.
This is fascinating.
Rough.
Because I would definitely kill Eddie. No offense, New Yorkers. I'm not down with that accent. It's just like I couldn't live forever with that accent. I couldn't marry into it.
Poor Eddie.
I love Eddie.
I-
0 for 3.
I would obviously, fuck Susanna. Roadhouse champion Susanna Dean. I gotta see what that's all about. And I'm gonna marry Roland because he's a good companion, as long as I'm useful.
As long as
Yeah.
your journey is his journey.
Yeah. But when we're married, what's his is mine. So it's our journey to the Dark Tower now.
That was the hardest one, I think.
Yeah, that was rough.
We all had different answers, which is astounding.
Well, let's see how you do with this one. We have a new 3 for our Marry, Fuck, Kill. Sam, you're going to go first.
Oh, okay.
Edgar Fremantle,
Mm-hmm.
Wilfred James,
Who?
1922, the husband from
Oh.
1922, and Bob Anderson from A Good Marriage.
Oh, the serial killer?
Yep.
Oh, I have to kill Bob.
Edgar doesn't fit into these 3, does he?
He doesn't fit thematically. He fits for making it a hard choice where to put everyone else.
So I'd kill Bob because he's a serial killer. Just have to do it. I'd marry Edgar because if I married Wilfred,
He'd kill you.
I would be dead.
We know what kind of marriage Edgar had before. So he's also not he's also a troubled husband.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, but I believe his wife didn't die.
Only because his best friend who railed her drove into a tree.
Anyway, I didn't say I was happy about it, but those are my answers.
I love it.
I have the same answers because obviously Bob has to die, but I would fuck Wilfred because he's a farmer. I bet he's strong.
Pick you up like this?
Yeah,
Right, yeah. Got
and
strong
then
hands.
you can just be like, peace,
Yeah.
die in exile or whatever. And then I guess I'd marry Edgar, which I think is a good deal because at the end of the book, he's like worked through
Yeah.
a lot of his anger issues. He's a rich painter.
That's true.
Like, yeah, why not?
Yeah. I think that's that we all went from different answers to the same answer.
What about you?
Same. I would marry Edgar. I would kill Bob and fuck Farm Boy.
Yeah. It
No
just
rats.
makes sense.
No
Yeah.
rat's gonna get to me. All right, now in celebration of the Wastelands and both of your well-documented love of riddles,
Mhm.
I have a riddle.
No.
I'm an enticing hint before the main course, a tasty clue that deepens the source. In stories and tales, I tease what's ahead, a flavorful sign before the plot is spread. What am I?
Delicious
Prologue?
foreshadowing.
Boom! C.M. Alexander!
It had to be both words, right?
Yep.
Oh.
Okay, the only reason I
get
could
it.
the only reason I could get this because I would not have before you explained or the book explained, somebody did, that how riddles work because I just didn't know how they worked before. That it's just you're taking one thing and changing it.
Yep.
That's the riddle. And it's like, oh, the food thing. Okay.
Oh, food.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Good on you.
It's my first riddle.
You
Yay!
And that was a good
might
riddle,
have
I feel
survived
like.
Blame. Thank you.
I don't know. I have nothing to
don't-
compare it to.
Well, the compliment would have been better had it not come with a
Yeah.
retraction
You said
immediately.
thank you very quickly. You should have
Yeah.
waited.
No, I should. Fucking story of my life. The thing is, if I jump in with a thank you before you get the last shot, you think I walked away without hearing it was an insult. Would you rather work the morning cleaning crew at the Stagger Inn every weekend, or be treated by doctor bugs for every ailment the rest of your life?
At the what in?
The Stagger,
Stagger
Inn, I
Inn.
believe, is from Big Driver.
Yeah, the Roadhouse from the disgusting ass Roadhouse from Big Driver.
Oh. Well, didn't I answer first last time?
Yeah, I have a definite, like, this is
Go
an
for it.
easy
Yeah.
answer. Cleanup sounds like it sucks.
Mhm.
And it's out in the middle of nowhere, which means I'd have to commute or live out in the middle of nowhere to clean this shithole every night. And I love a dive bar. Like, I don't mind a grimy fucking place, but the clientele worries me. And on the other hand, the doctor bugs, okay, they're bugs. Not great. Don't really care. And for every ailment, I assume means like, oh, I sprained my ankle. Ah, bugs.
Or if you have
Yeah.
a sore throat, they climb
Paper
down.
cut.
But here's the thing. That's just free health insurance. That's
Good
just
point.
fucking free health care.
Good point.
Like what? Once a week, I gotta get covered head to toe in bugs so that I fucking don't have to go have minor surgery that costs $20,000. Sign me the fuck up.
I think I'd have to echo that answer, but add that you would also be immortal because if they're healing every ailment, they would heal the aging process, in theory.
In theory.
I don't think aging is
You can't.
an
You don't
ailment.
get. You don't get to just tell me no to this. This
Yes,
is my,
and Josh.
This is my answer.
Yes,
a
and
doctor treatable. I mean, Botox, I guess.
if you went to the doctor every day, you would never die.
You'd be immortal.
But we can't because it's America.
It's too expensive.
Why is immortality so expensive? Give me bugs. So we're all for getting our wimples whacked.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good. I will be honest. The first thing that I did think about was if you have like a predisposition for like hemorrhoids, like you just constantly bugs in your butt,
Bugs in your butt.
just so itchy. I bet.
I hate that.
Jared Hazelwood sent us another question this year. Now, instead of the normal Secret Santa like he has in the past, he's given us another twist. We are going to have Eve and CM do a white elephant.
Oh, Eve and CM. I thought we're gonna have even CM is gonna play this one. I know how much she hates
She
that.
hates it. He made sure to add, I'm sad Josh can't participate, but knows I'll love torturing you. I need you each to pick 3 of your favorite characters and 3 most hated characters. I'm going to open this up to anything, any
Ooh,
books
okay.
we've read. Now, we are going to, let's see. Eve, you went first last time? I believe?
Yes.
Yeah, CM. So we're going to go first. Tell me from your nice or naughty list, one of your white elephant gift exchange people, then a number between 1 and 12, and that will determine the gift they get.
Oi from my nice list.
Okay.
4.
Oi, his white elephant gift is Mr. Gaunt will hand him a special gift from Needful Things.
No.
What does Oi want? Nice collar.
He's such a good boy.
But what is the cost?
He has to shit in Eddie's boots. It's a good prank.
Sounds like it's for you.
It's a good prank is all I'm saying.
All right.
You ever shit in someone's boots?
No, have you?
Eve.
From my nice list, first person, and these are just the first 3 that came to my mind because thinking of favorite things is hard. So I'm gonna say good old Dick Halloran.
Nice.
Number 9.
Dick Halloran is getting a Horn of Eld.
Huh. Well, what's he gonna do with that?
Blow it.
Well, he does fuck.
He knows
so-
how that mouth works. I feel like Dick's a musician. He'll play it.
Did they not mention that he played music?
I
No.
just can't remember if that's because Scatman Crothers plays him, that I just assume he plays
Definitely it.
music.
That's definitely it.
CM?
From my naughty list, Lester, big driver.
Ooh, all right. What number?
6.
A bullet to the head.
Yes.
A classic CM gift. Sent straight to Lester's dome.
I was told I could never give that gift again. I think I just found a loophole.
Jared gave it.
Thank you.
For my naughty list, and this is also not a character that I hate as a character. They're fascinating, but they're a piece of shit. What does Harold Lauder get?
Ooh, what number?
Ooh.
We'll say 3.
Harold Lauder gets a one-night membership to the club.
Oh, gross.
You know what? That might do him good.
I don't know how I feel about that. He's going to tell a story and everyone's going to get real uncomfortable.
About this time that the end of the world happened and the girl from his neighborhood still wouldn't fuck him.
Yeah.
CM?
From my nice list, Annie Wilkes,
Ooh, what number?
1. Because I'm her number 1 fan.
Well, Annie Wilkes is the proud recipient of 5 fresh blue chambray shirts.
This is
That's
so
appropriate.
perfect.
That's appropriate.
Wow.
Eve.
From my nice list, I always liked this guy. I hope he gets a Holly-style spinoff. Norris Ridgwick.
Yes. And what number for Norris?
Let's go 12.
Norris Ridgwick has gotten himself a plot at the old pet cemetery. So
Aw.
he is going to get his own standalone book.
Cool. Oh, well, there's our crossover.
Nice.
CM.
From my naughty list, Mama Driver, Doreen.
Ooh. A lot of you went. I saw the theme.
That story sucked.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
did.
I hated those people.
I'm healing something inside of me with this game.
Good, yes. And what number?
Well, potentially. I guess we'll see here in a moment.
True.
8.
A cursed cherry pie.
Yes. Oh, I'm so good at this.
Dodging a lot of mines here. Eve.
We're doing naughty list this time. Let's do that fucking kid from Apt Pupil.
Oh, yeah.
The fucking titular Apt Pupil.
Yes. What number?
I'm losing track of what we've done and what we haven't.
we have-
11.
A donation to the Derry Civic Center made in their name.
Oh, that's gonna look bad. That's gonna
We
look
can't-
bad for us, Josh.
You can't put that
The
plaque up.
optics
Sorry,
are bad.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry. You gave it away.
No.
You paid for it. CM.
From my nice list, Randall Flagg in his Alexander Skarsgårdiness.
Of course.
Let's go with 5.
5. You have given Randall Flagg what he needs most, a helmet.
Huh.
It's not gonna help against a nuke. My final good list is Mr. Nick Andros and Mr. Nick Andros.
For a second,
Nailed it.
you went Mr. Poopy Butthole. Rick Andra.
Well, in my head, I was just thinking, I spent the entire time y'all were talking, thinking about how they say Andros in Star Fox 64.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's do 3. No, what are we? 3, 2, 2.
19 roses.
Aw.
Yeah, that's a sweet gift for Nick.
Aw.
CM, your
I'd
final
kiss him.
gift.
From my naughty list, Gasher.
Fuck.
Ooh. Is that who you picked too?
Yes.
All right, well then Gasher, we're just going to let Gasher double dip. What does he get from you, CM? 7 or 10? You determine what Eve also gave to Gasher.
Oh, 7.
CM, you have given Gasher the gift of Pennywise performing at his next birthday party.
Nice.
And Eve, you've given Gasher a 12-pack of beer.
Sure.
Thank you, Jared, for all the thought and prep you put into that game. That was a lot of fun.
That was great.
We have up next another listener question from Michelle Devane. This one, she wanted to go back to 11/22/63 and asked if we could go back in time and prevent Hollywood from making a horrible adaptation of a King movie. Which one would you choose, and how would you do it?
What adaptation would we stop?
Yes. You can travel back in time to stop one movie from being made. Which movie and how do you do it?
This is hard because, like, as bad as a lot of adaptations can be, like, even the worst movies, there's someone out there who's like, yeah, I like this one. It's the same as, like, oh, what book do you hate so much that you wish it never you wish you could burn all the copies? And it's like, no, that's book burning. I don't like that. So I'm trying to think of like an adaptation. Oh, duh. There's such an obvious answer.
I know.
I wonder if we all
It
have the
has
same one.
It has
gonna have
to
to
be.
think of
It
something
took. I had to
else.
think around it, but I was like, you have to find something that
Does not add value.
does not add value and could be a billion times better.
And could say something
Oh,
interesting and important, but instead is just kind of gratuitous.
I think
Okay.
we might be on
Oh.
different wavelengths.
I was talking about Big Driver.
Oh, well,
Oh.
that one just shouldn't exist, I guess. That is true. The Dark Tower.
Oh my god.
Oh, perfect answer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, it's so obvious. Like, it
I forgot about that because I try never to think about
Sure.
that movie.
And like, as far as super generic, boring action movie, sure, whatever. It's not good, but it's also not like, oh, we need to erase it from existence, except that it was so bad that it severely hinders the possibility of like a good version,
Yeah.
you know?
Mhm.
Knock on wood with Mike Flanagan doing all the work that he's doing right now. All my fingers and toes crossed. But like, yeah, I think that's, even if you just kept the same fucking cast and just had someone that likes the series write the script.
Yeah.
Have someone tell Matthew McConaughey who Randall Flagg is.
Yeah. Because he would have been a great Randall Flagg.
He had all the
Mhm.
potential.
Hmm.
How would you stop the movie from being made?
I don't know. Go tell the CEOs that it's not going to make any money. It's all they care about.
Take a copy of the box office records back in
Yeah.
time with you and say, you're going to lose money. Don't do it.
That's
Like,
how you
that's
wind
the
up in
only
a
thing.
cage in Warner Brothers. Sam, how would you stop? How would you go back in time and stop Big Driver from being made?
Man, I feel like I almost have to hitch my wagon to Eve's because I really don't want the.
Oh, you're gonna go to.
Yeah.
Your answer is also the Dark Tower movie, then?
Yes.
All right. Cell.
I also thought about that one.
Yeah, because that
Yeah.
could have
Could have
been,
had
if
so
it
much
had a
potential.
really interesting director, the premise could have been really, really cool.
And
but-
acting.
Mhm, and acting. Yeah, just generally people that cared
Yeah.
and pretended that they cared.
Honestly, my first thought was actually Dreamcatcher so that it could be made now instead. And maybe it would be the movie that book deserves because even though the book's kind of fucky too, like the movie, it gives us so many cool Stephen King world building things and so many, like the Mind Palace and just, I remember really liking the camaraderie of the friends. And in those scenes in the movie, they were our favorite, I
Yeah.
believe.
Mhm.
And so we already know what works in it, like build off that and then make it really scary. And I think we've had a run of good horror movies lately, maybe not as much mainstream horror movies,
Mhm.
but just, streaming and stuff, really, really excellent stuff coming out. I think now would be a cool time to do that.
You would have to, that one I feel like you would need a director who already makes things that are like really super strange,
Yeah.
like
It should be all
visually.
tension, no action.
You know who? Oh, see, I don't know, because the movie that I want to see it in the style of is if they could make a Dreamcatcher movie directed by the guy that made Mandy.
Mm.
Like
Well,
that
okay,
would be a nutty
when I
movie.
say action, I don't mean like that. I mean
Sure.
action, like military, big
Mhm.
fights, like big action pieces.
Yeah.
I would like to see the alien attack when they fly over that one big action set
Oh
piece in the
yeah,
book.
that would be cool.
Yeah.
But like the movie should be focused on building these characters and
Yes.
creating terror through tension and what they're not showing because there's enough to show, enough wacky shit like with the
Mhm.
Ass
the
weasels.
the well the moss and stuff. Even that could be so much creepier.
Yeah, play
Yeah.
up the like what the entire
Yeah.
fuck unnatural otherworldly bullshit
Yeah.
of the
Oh,
movie.
and with the right person doing the sound and the music.
Remember how good the farts are in that?
Why
Yeah,
don't you
there-
shatter this moment for
There
me?
is a lot of farting, huh?
That's like, it's honest to God, one of my favorite things that they kept
Yeah.
from the book is the moment when the guy keeps farting through the house, and the second they close the door, they have to run to the other room to start laughing.
That was a good,
It's
but that
such-
was,
such
I
an
think of that as
endearing
the
moment,
character
yeah.
building. Yeah, that was,
Mhm. But they had to have real good gas sounds. The audio mixing for those farts was Emmy worthy.
so I guess I changed my
Emmy
answer to
worthy.
Dreamcatcher.
Gotcha. My plan for disrupting Cell from being made is I go back in time and I get a job at the graphics design department and I make the opening titles so distracting the test audience is, oh no, what have I done? I created a time loop.
I can't believe you just did that to us.
No, my real answer was offer John Cusack literally $1 more to do anything else because it was clearly a cash grab. Now it's time for our final question. Really our final announcement of Merry Derry Christmas.
Oh.
It's time to pick this year's Big Steve Award winner.
Oh.
And I have two that I like to put out to the table.
Okay.
The first, Steve Masterson from
Yeah.
Pet Sematary. We slept on him the first time we read
Yeah.
through the book.
I know he specifically mentioned he's got to
Mhm,
go on the
mhm.
list.
He shows up. He shows
does
up and he
so
is a real
many
hero.
times. Yeah.
And because of the state Lewis is in,
Maine?
he doesn't really appreciate it. So you have to just kind of read the implication, I guess, at how much Steve cares. And my second pitch is Tom Riley from Duma Key. He drove into a tree to stop Persephone from making him kill a woman.
Wow.
It's a strong
Yeah, he
show of
sacrificed
character at the last
himself.
minute.
Oh my gosh.
And he only had a split second to do it.
Okay.
So very different reasons. Do you have anybody else have a pitch?
No, because I think those are so solid and perfect. And it's kind of hard to pick between the two because Steve is so great. You just want to honor that. But he's also not the kind of guy who needs that. And I think for giving his life, I'm going to have to go with Tom. It's like the ultimate sacrifice, right?
I have another pitch.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I do not remember the character's name, but he's the boy in the next bed in The Little Sisters of Eloria.
Not Jacob. Or not.
Yeah. I keep wanting to say Jake. Yeah. Yeah, I don't remember his name either.
Well, that kind of makes it that he's not the most important character. But I thought that character was so cool. And like the way he immediately plays along with Roland, he's on top of it, and his death is so disgusting and tragic.
And you kind of expect him to be around a little longer, and it just
you do, and just the his whole point, a lot of it is just exposition, but he's still I think a very interesting character and goes a lot towards saving Roland, which is a big deal.
He comes across as brave, even though he's helpless.
Yeah. But the fact that we can't remember his name,
yeah, that's
does
definitely
undercut it a little bit.
Yeah.
So I think I'm gonna go with Steve Masterson so that Eve has the hard choice of picking this year's winner.
What is your explanation for Steve?
He is a real hero of that story. I think genuinely most people their first time through will probably miss how much Steve shows up because Lewis is experiencing so much that when you are having your first time through, you're kind of on that panic train with him.
Yeah.
And this time really getting to settle into the kind of person, the kind of friend Steve is without being asked. He shows up.
Yeah.
They're both really good choices. And I think I'm going to surprise myself with my answer because my knee-jerk reaction was, well, fuck Tom. He was like cheating on his friend, like sleeping with his friend's wife, right? That's who that
They were
was.
divorced.
Okay, well, yeah. And then
Still not cool.
He's not as likable. He's not as likable.
He's not as
character.
likable.
Yeah.
But then I thought about literally earlier this episode, I said, I love a redemption arc. And like that is the self-sacrifice is really great. So I'll pick Tom.
Congratulations, Tom Riley. And that is it for this year's Merry Derry Christmas. Once again, thank you all for another tremendous year. CM and Eve, thank you both for another tremendous year around this table.
Yay.
And happy
you.
holidays to you all. From
Happy
Derry.
holidays,
Merry
constant
Derry
readers.
Christmas. Hey everyone, CM Alexander here. Thank you for listening to Merry Derry Christmas 2025. We hope you enjoyed it. From all of us, thank you sincerely for all of your support over the last year and all of the other years. We have the best listeners any podcast could ask for. And special thank you to our listeners who sent us ideas for this episode. As always, we are taking your ideas for our next Merry Derry. Just make sure to put Merry Derry Christmas in the subject line so that I don't accidentally read them. That's all for now, listeners. Goodbye.